Have you ever wondered what makes some men magnetic, drawing respect and admiration without even trying? The secret isn't found in loud words or bold actions, but in the quiet, profound strength cultivated from within. This is the art of inner stillness and steadfast thinking, a path to unshakable confidence. 6 Masculine Habits Women Feel Instantly. Compiled and published by Stoic Dominion. Lesson 1. Grounded presence commands silent respect. Imagine a great oak tree, its roots running deep into the earth, unmovable in the face of a howling wind. Now picture a single leaf, torn from its branch, tossed about chaotically by the slightest breeze. In our interactions, in our very way of being, we embody one of these two realities. So many of us live like that leaf, our minds constantly scattered and thrown about by a storm of inner anxieties and external distractions. We sit in a conversation, yet our thoughts are already racing ahead to what we'll say next, what we need to do later, or what someone else might be thinking of us. This creates a subtle but palpable feeling of absence, a nervous energy that makes others feel vaguely unsettled. We are physically present, but our spirit, our focus, is a ghost, haunting the edges of the moment instead of inhabiting it fully. This lack of inner grounding is the source of so much unspoken insecurity. It's the feeling of being unseen, of speaking into a void, because we ourselves are not truly there to begin with. This emptiness carries an even greater social cost. It devalues others, sending a silent message that their thoughts and feelings are not important enough to command our full attention, thereby preventing any genuine connection before it has a chance to form. The transformative solution to this inner chaos is the cultivation of a grounded presence. This isn't a technique to be faked or a mask to be worn. It is the natural result of a mind trained to be still, to reside completely in the present moment. This presence is a silent force, a quiet anchor in the turbulent sea of social interaction. It is the ability to offer someone your complete, undivided attention, not as a strategy, but as a genuine state of being. The core idea, inspired by ancient Stoic wisdom, is that our true power lies not in controlling the world around us, but in mastering the world within us. When you achieve this inner stillness, you stop broadcasting chaotic energy and instead become a sanctuary of calm. People feel this instantly. They feel seen, heard, and respected on a profound level, because your attention is a genuine gift, not a prelude to your own next thought. Cultivating this presence, which the Stoics called prosoche, is the foundational virtue. It is the disciplined attention from which courage, wisdom, and self-control arise. To build this unshakable foundation, you must begin a gentle but consistent practice. First, dedicate moments throughout your day to conscious breathing. Wherever you are, simply stop and take 3 deep, deliberate breaths. Feel the air enter your body and feel it leave. This simple act pulls your wandering mind back from the future and the past, anchoring it firmly in the now. Second, practice sensory awareness. Choose one of your senses and focus on it completely for 60 seconds. Notice the specific details of what you see without judgment. Listen to the layers of sound around you or feel the texture of the object in your hands. This trains your mind to stop analyzing and start experiencing. Finally, embrace the discipline of single tasking. When you are working, just work. When you are listening, just listen. Resist the urge to fracture your attention. Each task, no matter how small, is an opportunity to practice complete presence. As you integrate these practices, you will witness a remarkable transformation. The constant, low-level anxiety that once hummed beneath the surface of your life will begin to fade, replaced by a quiet confidence. In conversations, you will no longer scramble for the right words, because you will be truly listening, and your responses will flow naturally and authentically. People will lean in, drawn to the silent strength you radiate. You will command respect not by demanding it, but by embodying a state of inner peace that is both rare and deeply attractive. You become the oak tree, a source of stability and shelter in a restless world, and this groundedness is the very bedrock of a truly magnetic character. Your journey into this state of being is a continuous one, a daily commitment to returning to the present moment. Start now. In this very moment, take one deep, conscious breath and feel the solid ground beneath your feet. This is where your power resides. This profound presence is the foundation, but to prevent it from becoming passive, it must be guided by a powerful internal force. It requires a clear direction, an invisible target that focuses all of your energy. We will now explore how to forge this inner compass. Before we move on, if you feel this wisdom resonates with you, please take a moment to subscribe to Stoic Dominion. Your support helps us continue to share these transformative ideas. Lesson 2. Unshakable purpose draws curiosity fast. Consider an archer standing in an open field. The first archer pulls back his bowstring and fires arrow after arrow with no target in sight. His movements are aimless, his energy is squandered, and his efforts result in nothing but a field littered with spent shafts. Now imagine a second archer. He stands with perfect stillness, his gaze fixed on a distant, invisible point that only he can see. Every fiber of his being is aligned with this single purpose. When he finally releases the arrow, it flies with a silent, deadly certainty. He is a man in command of his will, and his focused intention creates an aura of profound mystery and power. Many men today live like the first archer. They drift through life without a defined purpose, a clear set of principles to guide their actions. They follow the path of least resistance, adopting the goals and values of those around them, constantly shifting their direction based on social pressure or fleeting desires. This lack of an internal compass creates a life of quiet desperation. There is a persistent feeling of being unfulfilled, of wasting one's potential, leading them to chase fleeting pleasures and the hollow validation of others. Because without a self-defined target, every achievement feels empty, and every day feels like a repetition of the last. This aimlessness is palpable to others. It signals a soul that is for rent, a will that can be easily bent, and it silently repels the very respect and admiration it craves. The solution is to become the second archer, to forge an unshakable purpose. This is not about choosing a career or setting a financial goal. It is a far deeper and more transformative act. It is the conscious decision to live a life guided by a set of self-chosen virtues and principles. This purpose becomes your North Star, the fixed point in the celestial sphere by which you navigate the entirety of your life. The core of this idea, rooted deeply in Stoic philosophy, is that a life of meaning is not found in external achievements, but in the unwavering commitment to one's own moral character. When you know what you stand for, you are no longer a ship drifting at the mercy of the waves. You are the captain, steering with a steady hand through any storm. This internal clarity is intensely magnetic. It projects a message of self-possession and integrity. People become curious because they can sense that you are operating on a different level, guided by a code that you have written for yourself. They feel that your actions are not random, but are deliberate expressions of a coherent and powerful will. The creation of your purpose is a deliberate and reflective process. First, you must take the time to define your core principles. Sit down in silence, away from all distractions, and ask yourself, what virtues do I admire most? Courage, discipline, honesty, compassion? Write them down. These are the pillars of your character. Second, craft a personal mission statement. This is a single sentence or a short paragraph that encapsulates the kind of man you are committed to becoming. It should be inspiring and actionable, a declaration of your highest self. For example, my purpose is to act with courage and integrity, to seek wisdom in all things, and to treat others with justice and compassion. Third, you must begin the daily practice of aligning your actions, big and small, with this purpose. Before making a decision, ask yourself, is this choice a step toward the man I am committed to being? This turns every moment into an opportunity to live your purpose. Vividly visualize that man, feel his confidence and integrity, and let that image guide your choices. The benefits of living a purpose-driven life are immeasurable. The gnawing feeling of aimlessness will be replaced by a profound sense of direction and meaning. Procrastination and indecisiveness begin to dissolve, as your purpose provides a clear filter for what is important and what is a distraction. You will develop an inner resilience, because when you are serving a cause greater than your own comfort, external setbacks lose their power to derail you. This is the source of true confidence, not the arrogant bluster of ego, but the quiet certainty of a man who knows his path. Others will feel this certainty in you. They will see that you cannot be easily swayed or manipulated, and they will be drawn to the strength of your conviction. Your task now is not to find a perfect purpose overnight, but to begin the process of asking the questions. Start today by writing down just one value that is deeply important to you, and make a conscious effort to embody that value in one small action. This is the first arrow you will fire with true intention. An unshakable purpose provides the direction, but the journey will inevitably be met with turbulent emotional waters. To stay on course, you must become the master of your inner vessel, capable of navigating any storm with calm command. Next, we will delve into the art of emotional control, the sign of true inner strength. To ensure you don't miss this crucial lesson, like this video and leave a comment with one word that describes your purpose. It will help us grow the channel and reach others on this path. Lesson 3. Emotional control signals inner strength. Picture a deep, vast ocean. On its surface, violent storms may rage, waves may crash, and winds may howl. But hundreds of feet below, in the dark abyss, there is only a profound and unbreakable stillness. The chaos on the surface has no power over the deep. Now picture a shallow pond. The smallest pebble tossed into it sends ripples across its entire surface, and a slight breeze turns it into a chaotic mess. Our emotional lives mirror one of these two bodies of water. For many, the mind is a shallow pond, easily disturbed by the slightest provocation. A critical comment, a moment of frustration in traffic, or an unexpected change of plans is all it takes to trigger a storm of anger, anxiety, or despair. This emotional reactivity is a state of inner slavery. It means that any external event or any person has the power to dictate your internal state. You hand over the keys to your own peace of mind to the world, and the world is often a careless master. This lack of composure is perceived by others, consciously or not, as a sign of weakness. It reveals a man who is not in command of himself, a man whose foundation is so unstable that he can be shaken by trivialities. Living in this reactive state is exhausting, turning everyday interactions into a potential minefield for emotional turmoil and regrettable actions. The transformative path to freedom is the mastery of your emotions, which signals a deep well of inner strength. This is not about suppressing your feelings or becoming a cold, unfeeling robot. That is a fragile and unhealthy state. True emotional control is the Stoic art of observing your feelings without becoming a slave to them. It is the ability to create a space between an event and your response, and in that space, to choose a wise and deliberate course of action. It is the difference between reacting and responding. The Stoic view is not that emotions are bad, but that they are the product of our judgments. The external event is merely a spark. Our judgment about the event is the fuel. Without fuel, the spark dies out. This skill is the hallmark of a truly powerful character. It demonstrates that your peace comes from within, that it is a fortress you have built yourself, not a fragile structure dependent on favorable weather. This composure is incredibly reassuring and attractive. It tells the world that you are a source of stability, a calm harbor in a storm, a man who can be relied upon when things go wrong because his spirit is not easily broken. Mastering your emotional landscape requires consistent mental training. The first and most crucial step is to internalize the Stoic dichotomy of control. The understanding that some things are within your power and some are not. The actions and opinions of others and external events are not within your power. Your response to them, however, is entirely within your power. When you feel a negative emotion begin to rise, your first action is to pause. Do not speak, do not act. Simply create a moment of space. Second, in that pause, identify the trigger. What just happened? Then, identify your initial judgment about it. For example, my boss criticized my work. My judgment is that this is unfair and a personal attack. The third step is to consciously challenge that judgment. Ask yourself, is this judgment absolutely true, or is it just a story I am telling myself? What is a more rational, more useful way to see this? You can choose a new judgment. My boss gave me feedback. This is an opportunity to learn and improve. This process intercepts the reactive emotional spiral before it begins. As you practice this three-step process of pausing, identifying, and reframing, you will fundamentally rewire your brain. You will find that the emotional waves that used to knock you over now barely reach your knees. This newfound emotional stability will permeate every area of your life. You will handle conflicts with grace, navigate setbacks with resilience, and approach challenges with a calm and focused mind. You will become a person whose presence is soothing, whose judgment is trusted, and whose strength is felt without ever being announced. This is not the absence of feeling, but the mastery of it. You will still feel anger, fear, and sadness, but you will no longer be ruled by them. You will be the ruler of your own inner kingdom. Your practice is to catch yourself just once today. The next time you feel a surge of negative emotion, simply pause, just for a second. Don't do anything else. That single pause is the beginning of your freedom. This inner control is the core of your strength, but it must be paired with the wisdom to protect your peace from the outside world. A man who is calm inside but allows himself to be trampled on by others is not strong, but weak. Next, we will explore how to establish calm, firm boundaries, the hallmark of earned authority. Remember to comment with your own experience in practicing emotional control. Sharing our journeys strengthens our collective resolve. Lesson 4. Calm boundaries. Show earned authority. Imagine a beautiful, meticulously tended garden. It is a place of order, growth, and peace, a testament to the gardener's constant care. This garden is protected by a strong, well-maintained fence. The fence is not aggressive. It does not attack those outside. Its purpose is simply to define the garden's edge, to protect it from being trampled, and to ensure that what enters does so by the gardener's conscious choice. Now picture an open, unfenced field. It is at the mercy of every passerby, every stray animal. Its plants are crushed, its soil is compacted, and it cannot flourish because it has no protection. So many people live their lives like this open field, with no clear boundaries to protect their time, their energy, and their mental peace. They say yes when they mean no, out of a fear of conflict or a desire to please. They allow others to offload their negativity onto them without resistance. They let their time be consumed by demands that do not align with their purpose. This lack of boundaries leads to a life of resentment, burnout, and a feeling of being constantly taken advantage of. This simmering resentment poisons relationships from within, creating a phoniness where kind actions mask a bitter heart. It sends a silent signal to the world that your own needs are not a priority, that your peace is available for public disruption, and this erodes respect faster than almost anything else. The transformative solution is the establishment of calm boundaries, which is the quiet and firm demonstration of self-respect. A boundary is not a wall you build out of anger. It is a line you draw out of love for your own well-being and purpose. It is the gentle but resolute communication of what you will and will not accept. The core principle here is a blend of Stoic justice and self-preservation. You have a duty to treat others with fairness and kindness, but you also have a duty to protect your own inner state, your hegemonicon or ruling faculty, from undue harm and distraction. Setting a boundary is an act of authority, but it is an authority that is earned through self-discipline, not seized through aggression. It is also an act of kindness to others, as it provides clarity and teaches them how to interact with you respectfully. When you can say no calmly, without anger or apology, you demonstrate that you are the sole governor of your life. This act of quiet strength is profoundly compelling. It shows that you value your own time and energy, which in turn teaches others to value them as well. Learning to set these boundaries is a skill that requires practice. The first step is to clearly define what is important to you. You must know what you're protecting. This clarity comes from your unshakable purpose. Your time, your mental energy, and your focus are your most precious resources for living that purpose. The second step is to start small and be consistent. You don't need to have a major confrontation. Begin by saying no to a small, insignificant request that you would normally agree to out of habit. The third and most crucial step is to deliver your boundary calmly and firmly, without excessive explanation or apology. Use simple, direct language. "Thank you for the invitation, but I won't be able to make it. I'm not able to take on any additional projects right now. I'm not willing to discuss this topic," when you're raising your voice. The power is in the calm delivery, which communicates that this is a rational decision, not an emotional reaction. The immediate benefit of this practice is a surge of self-respect. Each time you honor your own needs by setting a boundary, you reinforce the message to yourself that you are worthy of that protection. This will be followed by a dramatic decrease in feelings of resentment and burnout, as you reclaim your time and energy for your own purpose. You will begin to attract people who respect your boundaries and are repelled by those who were accustomed to exploiting your lack of them. Your relationships will become healthier and more authentic. You will discover that a calm no, delivered with respect, earns far more authority and admiration than a resentful yes. You are no longer the open field, but the well-tended garden, a place of deliberate peace and growth. Your practice for this lesson is to identify one area in your life where you feel your energy is being drained. Decide on one small, clear boundary you can set to protect it, and resolve to communicate it calmly the next time the opportunity arises. A man with a purpose, emotional control, and firm boundaries is a man of immense potential. But potential is useless without action. True strength is not static, it is dynamic. Next, we will explore how decisive action, born from a disciplined mind, creates an irresistible magnetic polarity. If you find value in this guidance, please like the video to help it reach more people who are on this path of self-mastery. Lesson 5. Decisive action creates magnetic polarity. Observe a master sculptor standing before a raw block of marble. He does not stare at it endlessly, paralyzed by infinite possibilities. He does not tap at it hesitantly, afraid of making a mistake. He has a clear vision in his mind's eye of the form that lies dormant within the stone. His actions are decisive, precise, and filled with intention. Each strike of the chisel is a confident step toward realizing his vision. He is a force of creation, transforming inert matter into a work of art through the power of his will. Contrast this with a man who lives in a state of perpetual hesitation. He analyzes every choice to the point of paralysis, terrified of choosing the wrong path. He waits for the perfect moment that never comes, for a guarantee of success that is never offered. This state of inaction, often called analysis paralysis, is born from a fear of failure and a deep-seated fear of regret. This fear, ironically, creates the greatest regret of all, the regret of a life unlived, of potential squandered. It is a deeply unattractive state because it radiates uncertainty and doubt. Life is motion, and a man who refuses to move, who remains a block of unshaped potential, creates no impact. He is a passive observer of his own life, not an active participant. The solution to this paralysis is to cultivate the habit of decisive action. This is the ability to make a choice based on the best information available and your own core principles, and then to move forward with commitment without endlessly second-guessing your decision. This does not mean being reckless or impulsive. Recklessness is born from uncontrolled emotion. True decisiveness is born from a mind that is calm, clear, and aligned with its purpose. The core Stoic idea here is the separation of the process from the outcome. Like the archer, your job is to aim well and execute a clean release. Whether a sudden gust of wind diverts the arrow is outside your control. You focus all your energy on making the best possible choice and executing it to the best of your ability, accepting whatever outcome may follow with equanimity. This ability to act with conviction creates a powerful magnetic polarity. It is a masculine energy of forward movement, of creation, of shaping the world, rather than being shaped by it. It signals a trust in oneself that is deeply compelling and inspiring to others. Forging this habit requires a shift in mindset and practice. The first step is to embrace the concept of strong opinions weakly held. This means doing your due diligence and forming a clear, reasoned decision, but remaining open to changing your mind if new, compelling information arises. This frees you from the need to be right all the time. The second step is to set clear deadlines for decisions. For small choices, give yourself a minute. For larger ones, a day or a week. Do not allow yourself to ruminate indefinitely. The third step is to take an immediate, small physical step once a decision is made. If you decide to start a new project, send the first email. If you decide to get fit, do 10 push-ups. This physical action cements your mental commitment and breaks the inertia of inaction. As you become more decisive, you will feel an exhilarating sense of momentum build in your life. The fog of uncertainty will begin to lift, replaced by the clarity of action. You will find that even a wrong decision that you learn from is infinitely more valuable than no decision at all. You will build a powerful feedback loop of self-trust. Each decisive action, regardless of its outcome, strengthens your belief in your ability to handle whatever comes next. This is the essence of building confidence. It's not about knowing you will always succeed. It's about knowing you will be okay even if you fail. This energy transforms you from a passive object into an active force. People are drawn to those who make things happen, who are willing to take a stand and move forward. Your decisiveness will become a source of inspiration and a magnet for opportunity. Your practice is simple but powerful. Today, pick one small decision you have been putting off. Give yourself 5 minutes to consider it, make a choice, and take one immediate, small action to set it in motion. Feel the shift from hesitation to action. This entire framework, presence, purpose, emotional control, boundaries, and action, comes together to form a coherent and powerful whole. It is not just a collection of habits, but a complete philosophy for living. This is the Stoic mindset, and it is the ultimate foundation for building deep, unshakable trust. We will now explore how to integrate these elements into a unified whole. Please share this video with one person you think would benefit from this message. It's a simple act that helps us build a stronger community. Lesson 6. Stoic mindset. Builds deep trust. Imagine a master architect tasked with building a great fortress on a high mountain. He does not simply pile stones one on top of the other. He first studies the mountain itself, understanding its bedrock. He designs the foundation to be unshakable. He carefully chooses every stone, ensuring each one is solid and fits perfectly with the others. He builds with a long-term vision, creating a structure that is not just strong, but coherent, integrated, and capable of withstanding any siege for 100 years. The fortress becomes a symbol of reliability, a place of ultimate safety and trust. This fortress is a metaphor for a man's character. The ultimate goal of our journey is not just to acquire individual habits, but to integrate them into a single, unbreakable whole. A Stoic mindset. Without this integration, our efforts can feel fragmented. We might be present one moment and emotionally reactive the next, decisive in our work, but with weak boundaries in our relationships. This inconsistency creates confusion and mistrust, both in ourselves and in others. This inner conflict, a cognitive dissonance between our values and our actions, erodes our own self-trust first and foremost. People cannot put their full faith in a structure that is strong in some places and crumbling in others. Deep, lasting trust requires a character that is whole, reliable, and consistent through and through. The final, transformative solution is the cultivation of a unified Stoic mindset, which is the bedrock upon which all deep trust is built. This is the culmination of all the previous lessons, integrating them into a seamless philosophy for living. It is the understanding that your presence, purpose, emotional control, boundaries, and actions are not separate skills, but different expressions of a single, underlying commitment to virtue and reason. The core idea is that character is destiny. A man of integrated character is predictable in the best possible way. People learn that he will always act with integrity, that he will face adversity with courage, that his yes means yes, and his no means no, and that his inner peace is not dependent on external conditions. This consistency is the rarest and most valuable of human qualities. It makes people feel safe. It allows them to lower their defenses and place their faith in you, because they know the bedrock of your character is solid. This is the ultimate source of influence and attraction, not a fleeting charisma, but the profound gravity of a trustworthy soul. The integration into a full mindset is a lifelong practice of self-reflection and reinforcement. The first actionable step is the practice of a daily journal, as the great Stoics did. At the end of each day, take 10 minutes to reflect on your actions. Ask yourself, where did I act in alignment with my purpose today? Where did I lose my presence? When did I successfully manage my emotions? Did I hold my boundaries? Did I act decisively? This is not for self-judgment, but for self-awareness. The second step is to consciously connect the dots between the habits. See how your unshakable purpose makes it easier to set calm boundaries. Notice how your emotional control is the key to both grounded presence and decisive action. The third step is to embrace challenges not as problems, but as opportunities to test and strengthen your entire fortress at once. Every difficulty is a real-world exam for your Stoic mindset, reminding you that character is not a noun you possess, but a verb you enact daily. The benefit of cultivating this unified mindset is the achievement of eudaimonia, the Stoic concept of a flourishing, tranquil, and deeply meaningful life. The inner conflict between who you are and who you want to be begins to dissolve, replaced by a sense of wholeness and integrity. This generates a powerful, quiet confidence that requires no external validation. This is the man who can be trusted implicitly, in business, in friendship, and in love. He is trusted not because of what he says, but because his actions are a consistent reflection of a solid, well-constructed character. He is the fortress on the mountain, and people will always be drawn to the promise of such strength and safety. Your final practice is a commitment. It is not a one-time action, but a vow to view your life from this day forward as your great work of art, your fortress. Every day is a chance to choose a better stone, to build a stronger wall, and to make your character a masterpiece of unshakable integrity. These 6 habits are not mere tricks for attraction. They are the foundational pillars for building a man of substance, strength, and unwavering character. They are a path to forging an inner fortress, a quiet fire within a disciplined soul that draws respect and trust as a natural consequence of its own existence. Thank you for joining us on this journey into the heart of Stoic wisdom. We appreciate you taking the time to invest in your own growth. If these ideas have resonated with you, please like the video, comment with your greatest takeaway, and subscribe to Stoic Dominion for more content on the path to a strong and tranquil life.